guys, it's Vasenwick. I have been super busy lately, but I'm making this video to try to kickstart me into making more videos, even if it's just short, stupid stuff. And sorry about the voice recording yet again. I think there's an echo. But I've been basically just in the process of moving again and again and still have not found a good recording booth. Anyway, into the video. Okay, so I have like a million OCs and a million different worlds. And I've introduced several of these characters to all of you on my channel, but I haven't ever said who is from what and what is connected to who. So that's what I'm doing today. Let's start off with some characters I've used in animations already. All of the full videos will be linked below. I will only include small clips here to keep the runtime low. First off, we've got Jay and Casey.
Blah, 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 I'm so bored, love your shoes, tell me more.
This art is really old, so it's not very good. Those two were inspired by Henry Stickmin and Charles Calvin. They're two kids that live on a futuristic Earth that's entrenched in a secret war. Jay's a selective mute criminal, and Casey's an outgoing sweetheart that's surprisingly deadly. They exist with a few other characters. There's Bomb, Ben, and Gavin, who I managed to draw, and then there is Anula and Donovan, and a few other unnamed characters that they interact with that I haven't drawn yet. Next up, we got the story I like to call Agent 6031, or 6031.
Now, I don't know if you've been following the news, but I've been keeping my ears open, and it seems like everyone, everywhere, is super mad about everything all the time.
This takes place on Earth, and it features a little yellow alien named 6031, or 6K, that goes to Earth to retrieve a DNA booster that her kind lost. The DNA booster is highly coveted and has attached itself to a kid named Sal Quinton. Sal is just kind of done with aliens and wants to have a normal life. There are several other characters in the story. There's Sal's twin brother Lee, his little sister Robin, and 6K has a robot AI assistant known as Z, who is inspired by Alfred from Batman. Sal used to have a best friend named Cameron, but I got rid of her. There is also a blue alien named Minex, who was inspired by Kokichi from Danganronpa, and 6K herself was inspired by Megamind. There are two other OC groups that I've released content about, but I'm saving them for the last because they'll take a little bit to explain. Next on the list, I have what I like to call What Alien. The basic premise was inspired by the Invader Zim series, just less dark. It's basically about this little guy, Neon, getting trapped on Earth and learning to survive. He has two robot pals named Sori and Demo, I don't have a picture for Sori, and a human frenemy who goes by Sparks and is a genius. He's a young kid who lives with his big sister, single mother, and little brother. Then there's Micah, Ethan, and Willow. These characters were inspired by the BBC Merlin. Micah is a dryad disguised as a human, and his kind are entirely hunted by humans. His friends Ethan and Willow are both humans, and they both don't know he's a dryad. Micah doesn't like living and hiding, but he literally has no choice because pretty much if any human finds out who he is, they will kill him. Up next, we have my numbered timeline. I do not have any art for these characters, but I did have an animation I made a while ago featuring actors.
You ain't ready. You ain't ready. You ain't ready. You ain't ready for me.
Oh gosh, that animation is so cringy. Numbered follows a series of human kids on a different futuristic Earth. 10 of these kids have superhuman abilities, which makes them very valuable. The main two super kids are Sarah and Afixi, and then there are two non-superhuman kids in the mix too. This series hasn't been developed enough to say anything else, just that it takes place in another apocalypse, caused by World War III. My two main OC worlds are the ones I'm currently working on to prepare them for public consumption, and those two are called Stick Figures and Shards of Tomorrow. I'm going to talk about my sticks first. You can actually follow me on TikTok and Instagram to learn more about my stick figure universe, because I'm actually really close to releasing these guys.
Hello? Hey, what's up? I need your help. Can you come here? I can't. I'm buying clothes. All right, well, hurry up and come over here. I can't find them. What do you mean you can't find them? I can't find them. There's only soup. What do you mean there's only soup? It means there's only soup. Well, then get out of the soup aisle! All right, you don't have to shout at me. There's more soup. What do you mean there's more soup? There's just more soup. Go into the next aisle. There's still soup! Where are you right now? I'm at soup! What do you mean you're at soup? I mean I'm at soup! What store are you in? I'm at the soup store! Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? You!
My main character here is Dominic, along with Jason and Joanna and several others, which I talk about on TikTok. Dominic was inspired by real people and events, and he's kind of an underdog in many ways. He also has a rivalry with Jason because they are both crushing on the same girl, Joanna, and she has friend-zoned both of them. Stick Figures takes place in a world populated by all kinds of art, and the main characters are some of the more boring pieces of art, and they are self-conscious about it. As I said before, you can follow me on TikTok to learn more about these guys. I finished writing their story during the pandemic, recently finished storyboarding, and it's in the art stage now, aiming to be released on Amazon hopefully next year, so that's pretty cool. And the final project I'm going to talk about is my biggest one, Shards of Tomorrow. This one has more than 30 different characters involved in it, and I've been working on it for years, since I was 13. Actually, no, I was 11. And I will probably be working on it for a few more years before anything is ready for public consumption. These characters live on a fictional planet called Tomorrow, and the two main characters are Barak, a Tessel, and a Castor, a dragon. These dragons shapeshift into two forms. Also, these characters have been redesigned about 3 to 5 times, and I am sure they will be redesigned more times before I am done with them. Since there are more than 30 characters at the moment, I'm not going to talk about them all. I might need to cut some from the list because I don't want the cast to be inflated, so I don't want to talk about a character that will end up getting scrapped later. But there are many different species with different abilities, and they are reluctantly working together to prevent the apocalypse of their world as their planet is slowly shattering from the inside out. So yeah, those are all, well, most of my OCs grouped. The rest of the OCs I have aren't grouped into anything yet and are just floating in my brain like the DVD symbol. Just pure vibes. This is editing wick. That's actually not true anymore. I had to cut a bunch of the OCs out due to runtime. So, like for part 2.